Do, 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 do. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. We'll say hello to you. Good morning to you. Friday, March 28th, 2025. Half awake, half asleep. I think I gave this one a funny title. Oh, yeah, there was a play on the word existentialist. Existential. Right. The exit stencil. There's no way out, you know. There isn't one. At the beginning of a music video I shot for I made with a bunch of mates that for a song called "Awake Me." The beginning is me spray painting a stencil saying "exit." It's all tied into everything that we've organically done as humans. When you think about it, it's we can we can withstand so much. So do we test our metal? Do we, do we constantly test ourselves? It reminds me of a scene in some movie with Mel Gibson where he's beat the fuck out of all the time. Smashed to pieces and then keeps getting back up. Same thing with the Baldy actor guy, Die Hard guy, that one. And, and all these Tarantino. It's like, how much suffering can we impose on ourselves? I mean, how much of that is real? I mean, the exit stencil is I mean, you have to define the crisis of your life. Constantly defining the crises and the crisis of your life to give it drama, to give it meaning. Well, look at what's happened in the past. Oh my God, how can we make it even more of a crisis, Because we want bigger, better. We always want bigger, 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 bigger. It's like, fuck that shit. Especially when we give somebody else the reins, we're like, okay, see how much you can hurt me. I mean, there's this game you play as kids. I mean, I grew up with a brother who was hard as nails. He still is as hard as nails. In a physical fight, he's one of those people that you just can't knock down, And you end up trading. I mean, we'd been watching, as children, my brother and I, constantly in competition with each other. I mean, my parents were pretty hands off because they work full time and they work long hours and crazy shit, right? So my brother and I were always wild, but we've been watching, fake wrestling on television and decided to imitate our favorite wrestlers and wrestle with each other. And we had a rug in the living room and that was our ring. So we'd get in and we'd start wrestling and, we'd put our swimming trunks on. But it always ended up, because I was 2 years older than my brother, with me holding him in a submissive role, right? So and my legs have always been very, very strong, still are to this day, but I had him in a leg lock around his stomach. I had my legs interlocked around his stomach and I was squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and his face was turning blue and I was saying, submit, just tap the mat, submit. And he wouldn't. He wouldn't. He just wouldn't. And he was turning blue in the face, and I could tell his breathing had got really shallow, and he went from red to sort of like a purpley blue in the face. And I was like, God. So I eased off a little bit of the squeeze, and it gave him enough room to wiggle and turn his head to one side and bite a fucking chunk out of my stomach, bite a huge chunk out of my stomach. And I was like, what? I mean, obviously screaming and blood everywhere. Didn't want to bleed on the carpet, otherwise you get a backhander from your dad. But so I ran to the bathroom. But what I'm trying to say is comparatively, I grew up a pacifist. I was like, God, how far is this going to go? You know, and it comes from childhood. Most of what we're seeing unfold in our lives, individually, collectively, is the result of trauma. And the trauma we suffered, the things we witnessed before we were 6 or 7 years old. Yeah, that's our framework. That's how we start. My parents loved me. I know they did. But I didn't know that until the end, until they passed over. Not really. I mean, I did know in my heart that they supported certain aspects of my life, but didn't really understand how much we need nurturing and organic nurturing. I've grown up in a society where, you know, my brother and I were what we were called latch door kids. We were left to run wild pretty much. I mean, sure, if we were caught, we were beaten, so we stopped. We had to be clever about it, but we just ran wild. I mean, so was that a good thing? Well, I'm here today. No, it wasn't a good thing. We needed more care in our growth, and especially in those first 6 or 7 years of our lives where we perceive the world to be, yes, an exciting adventure, but with more love and more care and less violence. Today, the television raises our children, or media raises our children, or these fucking black boxes raise our children. That's not going to happen for me. I mean, it's like, why would that happen? I mean, are we allowing technology? So where's the robot nanny from, you know, all these silly cartoons we watched as kids? You're repeating your own trauma if you do it that way. You see what you're doing? You're replacing that which you did without that made you a stronger person. No, it didn't. It didn't. It gave you a trauma that you must face, and you must break that chain. And I'm saying this even to my children who have their own version of trauma, because my wife and I split up when they were young, and that to them was like, where's dad? You know, I was there though. I mean, the thing is, that's the thing I couldn't do. I wouldn't want to do is I wouldn't want to give them. I wouldn't want to turn their trauma and their drama into a crisis. I wouldn't want to do that. So I stuck around. I visited every day, but it was their mum. I couldn't live with their mum. She couldn't break the chain. She had childhood trauma up the yin yang. She still does, because she won't face it. And this happens over and over and over again in society in massive ways. And I'm seeing it happen even in that same family with another generation about to get traumatized from the previous generation's trauma and the previous generation's trauma. It's almost like we've got a shitty baton. You know, we're in a relay race, and, you know, here comes the next generation. Here's the baton. Oh my God, it's made of shit. You know, no, make that a golden baton. Make that the thing that opens the world to these beautiful, beautiful children we bring into this world. Organic growth is so important. and we're allowing technology to take care of our children. Ever since the advent of television, ever since before that, and before that, and before that, he was a great warrior, so was his son. You know, we're playing this game of fucking nepotism that compounds the bloodlust of the bloodlines that think they rule the world. Do you see that? They think they rule the world. If you ask someone like, I mean, if you could get him to be honest and in the corner of a room with just you and him, if you could get, I mean, if I would like to do this, I would like to sit down and talk honestly to, reluctant to use the word king, but King Charles. If somebody said to me, you know, who would you like to interview? Who would you like to sit down and interview in an honest, bare bones interview about yourself and about them and about opening wide what it is our perception of this society that we're living in and how we can try and fix it if we want to, but we can't do it from a perception of elitism or the opposite, serfdom. You can't, this master and servant nonsense has got to fucking stop. Oh dear. I'm only laughing because it's absurd, really. It's like, damn. Good morning. There are so many things on a micro level, and then, and you go, whoa. And I'm interested in all sorts of curiosities, you know, all sorts of weird things, you know. Is there an underground world that's running this race? And is this race the only race that's sentient? Is it the one that is dominant in this society? Are we, you know, given dominion so as we can abuse our position of power? I mean, it's all of these things are like, what? But you keep looking, you keep going down different rabbit holes. Most of them are very entertaining, very, very entertaining. But most of them are also to do with the same thing, which is allowing people to live out their fantasy of being in charge of other people. Was there a group of you when you were kids, like a, you know, little gaggle of you, or were you a complete loner? You know, it's like, if there was a gaggle of you, there was always one that was always seen to be, okay, let's do this, and everybody went, okay, you know. I've never wanted to be a leader. Never. No, nope, don't want that power. I don't want power over other people. Influence, sure. I'll sit with somebody, sit with a bunch of people. I'll make friends with loads of people globally, whatever, it doesn't matter. So as we can work out a peaceful solution to every single issue that comes up in our chronological human experience. Sure, I'll do all that. But will I think of myself as a leader? Will my ego get inflated to the point of like, wow, he makes a lot of sense, let's follow him? No, fuck me, no, don't follow me. Work it out. Sit down, feel yourself, feel inside you is growth. That's happening. You're growing, right? Still growing. Yeah, 68, still learning stuff every day, little bits here and there, but picking it up, researching it, finding out what it means. What does it mean to me? How do I make use of that learning? And does it conflict with previous learning? Oh shit, that means I've got to unlearn something. You know, these are ways forward individually. Can I influence others collectively? I will influence my children, of course, because I'm close to them all the time. But most of the time, my real friend, yeah, has become this thing, you know, this diary that I write every day, this journal that I try and write every day. I've been banned from it so many times for saying things like I'm saying right now, which get personal, but they also are not personal. These are not personal things. This is not just the diary of a lunatic, you know. It's no, it's not. I've done a lot of research during my life. I've had a lot of experience during my life. I've been to different places all over the world in my life, and I'm coming to conclusions that we are not lost at all. Human beings are not lost. We are mind controlled. Yes. Even me, everybody, every single one of us are in some way mind controlled. And the only idiots who are saying, well, I'm not mind controlled, are the ones that they want to stay mind controlled. So that's easy, isn't it? Just leave them to drag their knuckles along the ground and start another fucking war. Isn't that easy? Old templates for new problems, same template for the same problem. Individuals need to take hold of their sovereignty. They need to sort of take hold of their lives and go, I'm not doing it that way because it's been done before so many times and it was wrong. We always do it this way. To quote my famous friend, Derek Pippert, brilliant man. We always do it this way. It's like, time to change. The time to change is when you realize, right? You're doing an equation, right? You're working through it. You know, you've seen those ridiculous things on, you know, the most amazing genius men in the world, and they're stood in front of a chalkboard with all this writing of all these equations. The time to change is when you get to the end of that equation and you put that period, that full stop. You go, and you go, oh, there it is. That's the time you change. You look at it and you go, okay, because you've worked something out. Now, the danger is, whilst you're sitting there contemplating your achievement and your ego starts to inflate, you look to the left and there's another chalkboard and it refutes what you've just done. And you go, years of waste. Years I've wasted on that. And now look, oh my gosh. You know what? I'm going to stick with my equation. It made me feel good. That's where we're at. That's where we're at in humanity. Always do it this way. My chalkboard's fuller than your chalkboard. I'm sorry. The equations I did, even though they're wrong and they've been disproved by that person, they were right at the time I did them. So let's just keep doing it that way. Yeah, but this refutes. No, I can't. La, 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 la. The whole human race is sitting there going, la, 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 la. And they're trying to turn back time. We are marching forward, you know, our linear lives, human experience. To do something useful, cure your own cure, confront. I know it hurts and I know it's dark and I know it's sometimes very difficult, but I'll hold your hand. But go through that childhood trauma. Go through it. Work it out for yourself. Realize that it was something that changed you inside. And Rid yourself of it. Break that chain. Don't be a repeater. And certainly don't give power to people that you see acting out their childhood traumas. And they're doing it over and over, and they do the same thing every time. I've got a better reason for doing this than you do. It's like, oh. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Good morning. Let's restart this one. A little more comedy, please. A little more absurdity. They can bring it on. I don't care. I don't care. Not anymore. I care very much about humanity, but I don't care about these twats that think they're in charge. The powers that were. Were they ever? Or did we just get down on bended knees? Because I ain't. Not doing it. And it's not an act of rebellion. It's not. It's an act of love and kindness. We're not doing it wrong again. We're not. We're not going to do that. And I say we. Look at that. The collective we. So am I in charge? Sure. I'm in charge of me. But my influence can infiltrate. So my influence can infiltrate even into the most hard, the most difficult, the most ignorant of places. Ignorant is the right word, but I don't mean it as an insult. Oh, you're ignorant. No, I mean it as you're not willing to learn. Willful ignorance, and that's happening. That's what this is. La 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 la. That's willful ignorance. You know it's wrong, and yet you're keeping doing it. Stop it. But I can influence that. But I can only influence it if I show you how much of a happy life I have. And I do have a happy life. I'm happy here in the happy house. Oh, Susie Banshees. Happy here in that. Oh, I'll probably get banned for singing that now or referencing it. Anyway, that's my morning pontification. You know, the diary of a nomad. That's me almost every day. But like and subscribe, or one of those things that you do if you think I touched a nerve, even if I opened a little tiny glimmer of hope in your eyes or in your heart, mostly your heart, hopefully. And I'm being metaphysical, but if I can open a little tiny place in your heart where there's a resonance, we can raise our frequency together and help each other. Love you. Peace. Love and peace is everything. Be it. Cheers then.